Well, good evening, everybody. Tuesday conversation. Jay Stittleburg here, candidate for county judge in Montgomery County. Last Tuesday conversation before early voting starts. Big topic of this week's discussion, amongst other things. But the first thing I'm going to tell you is early voting starts 6 days from now. And it's getting exciting. I've been out there doing a lot of work for a year and a half. And now I'm hoping you guys will go do some work and take the time to go to the polls and do your research and be an informed voter and go cast your vote for who you want to represent you in your government, whether it be, again, local, state, or federal. So, which means if we have 6 days until early voting starts, we have 3 weeks or 21 days until Election Day on November 6th. So the time continues to fly. But here we are. So let's talk about, let me talk about this week. I had a great week talking about being an informed voter. Some of the events I went to this week, I went to, over on the other side of the county, I went to a Conroe ISD candidate forum. Obviously I can't vote in the Conroe ISD. I don't live in Conroe ISD. I live in the New Caney ISD. But I like to go sit and watch and listen to these candidates. I like to hear what they have to say. I like to listen to the type of questions they get asked and how they respond to them. I think it's really important. And it's educational, no matter, quite frankly, if you can vote in that particular election, like me. But it's good to go to these things. It's good to go listen to the candidates, hear what they have to say. It's always better to do it face-to-face. I also went to a Woodlands Township Board candidate forum. Again, I can't vote in that. I don't live in the Woodlands. But again, it's good to go listen to the types of questions they get asked, the issues that are going on in the different parts of our county, and listen to the responses that the candidates give. Sometimes it's quite eye-opening to see how people respond and what their answers are. And it also gives you a good idea to know kind of who's prepared and who's not prepared and who's been doing research and who hasn't. So again, it's all about being an informed voter. So these are things that are important to go do, and I certainly recommend you go do them. And I'll give a plug for myself that my next meet and greet or town hall is going to be on Thursday night at Cole's Smokehouse in Splendora. That's going to start at 6:30. So if you're out that way, I definitely recommend stopping by. You can ask me some questions. You can ask me whatever question you want to. So if you have questions about me, or maybe you're somebody who uses these labels of D's and R's, certainly more than they need to be used in a local county government race, where they really don't make, can I say it, a hill of beans of difference, because it's all about what the candidate stands for and how they want to attack the issues. And that letter after the name really doesn't mean much when it comes to these local politics, because we're not legislators, we're not lawmakers, we're administrators. And we run the business of the county, and it's about good stewards of your tax dollars. So I certainly recommend you come if you have questions about anything about me. Please do it. I highly recommend it. The other thing I did this week to go hear what is going on around the county. I did it tonight, actually. I went to the Stagecoach City Council meeting. Again, a great time. It's good to see communities, especially small communities like that, have good, engaging conversations and listen to the things that they care about and the issues that they have in their communities. I think it's important for me, being a candidate for county judge, where I'd be responsible for kind of overseeing all the communities in our county. So it's important that I go visit them, as many as I can, for sure. And understand what their local issues are, because the issues in Stagecoach are not the same as the issues in the Woodlands, which are not the same as the issues in New Caney, which is not the same as the issues in Cut and Shoot, and the list goes on. So it's important to get out there and do that. And I had a great time. I met some great people. Good to talk to those folks, and thank you again for letting me come. I really appreciated it. And the other thing I did this week, which I'm really over the moon, if I can say that, especially in Montgomery County and the current nature of our politics in Montgomery County. I did an interview. I was invited to go do an interview with a group of high school students that got together to work together. The young Republicans of the Magnolia high schools and the young Democrats at Conroe High School, they teamed up and did candidate interviews looking at the qualifications of candidates, really specifically at the county level. These positions that I say time and time again is a partisan race about nonpartisan politics. You know, the R, the D, the I, whatever it is, doesn't come into play in these county politics. Again, we're not legislators, we're not lawmakers, we're administrators running the county business, trying to make our communities better, our quality of life here better. Has nothing to do with these things that divide us as Democrats and Republicans, right? The county commissioners' court's not going to take a vote on abortion. We're not going to take a vote on gun control. We're not going to take a vote on immigration reform. Those aren't the types of things we deal with at a county level. They don't even come into play. Think about it. The county treasurer, you really think it comes into play there? It doesn't. So, God, you know, good on these kids for getting together and working together and putting this thing on. I was honored to go sit and answer their questions. They asked some great questions. I got, you know, you get to understand what issues do they worry about? What issues do they see from where they are as high school students? It's important. They're the future leaders of our county. They're the future leaders of our cities. They're the future leaders of our state. They're the future leaders of our country. So it's important that, you know, number one, they work together. Because again, we have got to get back to a place where we can sit at a table and hammer out differences, especially at the local level. Stop politicizing all of these issues that go on in the county, because they don't need to be politicized. What they need to be is solved. And we need leaders that are going to sit down and solve problems, not bicker and make political issues about things that should not be political issues. So, you know, I was so impressed with these kids. And so let me tell you, you know, I have to give the shout out where it's due. So those young Republicans from Magnolia High School, Hunter Gamble and Blake Clifton, they did a great job. And Nico Montovo and Maddie Lake from the Young Democrats at Conroe High School, good on you, right? Good on you for having the courage. Good on you for taking on this project and going out there and doing it and executing it and not being afraid. Because let me tell you something. Don't ever let anybody tell you can't. I had people tell me I couldn't when I was in high school. I had people tell me I couldn't after I got out of high school. And I never believed it. I always strove to be better. And the way I did that was, quite honestly, I made it my mission that if somebody told me I couldn't, I was going to prove them wrong and show them I could. And that's exactly what I've done in my life. So don't ever let people talk down to you. Don't ever let people tell you you can't. And have courage. You know, it takes so much to be courageous and to go against what I'll call, if you want to, the establishment or what people want you to do because they don't like it or they don't agree with you. It takes a lot to go do that, and so I'm so impressed and again, honored that you guys invited me, honored to answer your questions. It was my great pleasure, and I'll be honest, you know, I've certainly talked to the Democratic Club before, and I'll gladly do that anytime, and quite frankly, I'll go talk to the young Republican group anytime they want to, too. And we can talk about anything. We don't have to talk about politics. We can talk about the Navy. We can talk about submarines. We can talk about whatever you want. Oil and gas, I don't care. Because encouraging our young folk is exactly what we need to be doing. So anyway, I can't stress enough good on you. And I'm so thankful for those that participated. You know, it's so important for our process that we're engaged and informed. And this is a great way to show some across the aisle, right? These kids working together. It's amazing how kids can teach adults something, especially if we take a look around us right now. Anyway, I'm going to remind you again, there are 6 days until early voting starts. I'm going to be at the polls. I hope to see you there too. and we'll see you soon, hopefully at Kohl's on Thursday night, but if not, we'll see you soon, and we'll talk to you next week, and that'll be after voting has started. Have a great week.